Hi there. The team at Pearl.eco wanted to provide a comprehensive update on our products and our boost in on-chain transactions to our community. Pearl.eco is making solid contributions to a better perception of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, especially amongst regulatory and government stakeholders. We are also facilitating meaningful action in the fight against climate change. We realize that our focus is on a niche but crucial economic sector. It is a sector that sometimes requires a lot of background and understanding to appreciate. So we decided to provide a hopefully easier understanding through this short video that should hopefully give better context. We are focused on two core technology platforms that plug gaps in the existing services available to those seeking to decarbonize our atmosphere. There are projects that tokenize carbon credits, and there are blockchain deployments in centralized carbon exchanges. But our focus is earlier in the value chain. If anything, we complement rather than compete with such projects. While Pearl.eco's journey towards national registries started with regulator suggestions in relation to a forward finance exchange for carbon development projects, the registry focus plays a much more strategic role in the entirety of the carbon market. It is the beginning of the overall value chain and therefore the most logical starting point. Article 6 of the Paris Climate Agreement enables international transfers of mitigation outcomes, or ITMOs. All countries issue and track their nationally determined contributions, or NDCs, and report on their progress in achieving their mitigation outcomes pledged within their NDCs. If a country makes progress over and above what they have pledged in their NDC, then they have the opportunity to sell their overachievement to another country for that country to count it towards its climate mitigation efforts via an ITMO. This is where the term corresponding adjustment comes in to avoid double counting. It means that when country A transfers a mitigation outcome internationally to be counted toward another country B's mitigation pledge, the ITMO is transferred from country A to country B. Internationally, corresponding adjustments that avoid double counting are relatively easy to achieve. So long as every NDC registry can talk to each other and there is effective record keeping of the transfers and transactions, ITMOs can be transferred with confidence. The risk of double counting becomes more apparent when the voluntary carbon market gets overlaid. Suppose an individual voluntary carbon development project has yet to have agreed on corresponding adjustments with the government of the country where the project is located. How does it know that its carbon credits have not already been included in an NDC? The government could be transferring ITMOs at the same time as the project is selling carbon credits. But both the ITMO and carbon credit relate to the same metric ton of CO2, or its equivalent in other greenhouse gases sequestered. That's double counting, and a vital issue that needs to be dealt with. The Pearl.eco Carbon Registry contains a client government's NDCs, as well as registrations of all activities to mitigate emissions. For example, when projects in the solar energy sector produce more energy than was anticipated in the NDC, the registry creates an ITMO that the government can sell to another country, struggling to meet its targets. At the same time, voluntary carbon developers register within the system and are approved by the government's registrar. They will know that the carbon credits that they produce from their actions are in addition to what is recorded in the NDC, and that they are a recognized voluntary project, and they can sell their credits without fear that they are double counted into an ITMO. This requires a huge volume of immutable record keeping and needs traceable flows of information. Pearl.eco's registry solution helps governments to streamline the monitoring, reporting, and validation of the NDCs. This allows them to issue ITMOs which can be sold to other countries. It allows voluntary carbon developers to have confidence from the outset that their carbon credits will not be swept up inside an NDC, double counted as an ITMO, and have value in terms of authenticity, additionality, and importantly, corresponding adjustments. Voluntary carbon development projects listed on a national registry and approved by the government would meet eligibility thresholds to be listed on the Pearl.eco Carbon Exchange, which provides access to frictionless forward financing for carbon project developers. Carbon developers can currently only raise forward finance by finding a prospective buyer for the carbon credits that they will eventually deliver and enter into an emission reduction purchase agreement (ERPA) for future delivery of a specified number of carbon credits based on a discount for the purchaser paying today. The developer needs to know and have contact with prospective buyers, and they can only fundraise based on that buyer's carbon needs. Fractionalizing the ERPA allows multiple prospective purchasers and traders to have an offtake from a specific project without the developer entering into multiple agreements with their counterparties. While there can still be risk involved in the investment, the threat from the government claiming or cancelling credits, or that the credits are somehow double counted and therefore worthless, is not present thanks to their inclusion on a national registry. The Nagoya Protocol on access to genetic resources and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits, arising from their utilization to the Convention on Biological Diversity, is an international agreement which aims at sharing the benefits arising from the utilization of genetic resources in a fair and equitable way. It entered into force in October 2014. But countries lack both inventories of biodiversity and abilities to record claims. The Pearl.eco Bioassets Registry allows the national registration and storage of genomic sequencing. Commercial and intellectual property benefits can be tracked, allowing for more equitable sharing between commercial organizations, governments, and indigenous communities. Hopefully, this quick overview of our team's hard work has been insightful and provided a better understanding of our work and plans moving forward. We will upload more updates as they become available, but please feel free to join the Discord or tweet us with any questions you have. We will be happy to try and answer in more detail there.